Far to the north of the Arenzian Empire lies Leohtland, a land shaped not by conquest, revelation, or imperial ambition, but by cold seas, dense forests, and harsh winters. Its people are not defined by expansion or ideology. They are defined by endurance. Where Arenzia builds unity through law and administration, Leohtland survives through continuity, through generations that have learned how to endure hardship without breaking. Leohtland does not trace its beginnings to a single founding king, miracle, or victory. Its earliest records speak instead of winters that lasted too long, of harvests that failed, and of scattered communities forced to survive together or disappear entirely. In those early centuries, isolated clans and coastal settlements began to bind themselves together out of necessity. Over time, leadership emerged. Those who could maintain stability through scarcity, who could organize supplies, settle disputes, and guide their people through harsh seasons, gradually became the stewards of their communities. Kingship in Leohtland did not begin as command. It began with responsibility. To the people of Leohtland, survival itself became the ultimate proof of legitimacy. Today, Leohtland is ruled by a High King who reigns from a permanent royal hall. But his authority does not resemble the centralized power of the Arenzian Empire. The High King's rule rests upon lineage, oath, and the continued consent of the regional lords who acknowledge his stewardship. Power in Leohtland flows outward rather than inward. Earls govern the major regions, coasts, and inland territories with broad autonomy. They maintain their own courts, raise levies when needed, oversee trade routes, and administer justice according to local tradition. Below them, thanes and landed lords hold estates, ports, and strategic crossings. In return, they owe men, supplies, and ships to their earl when called upon. Unity in Leohtland is not maintained through centralized control. It is maintained through a shared obligation. Unlike the Arenzian Empire, Leohtland has no unified legal code. There are no imperial statutes or standardized courts. Instead, justice is administered through precedent, oath binding, and communal judgment. Disputes are resolved through testimony, reputation, and the restoration of trust within the community. To outsiders, Leohtland law may appear fragmented or inefficient, but to its people, the system reflects the reality of life in a land where survival depends on reliability, cooperation, and memory. Religion in Leohtland exists, but it does not dominate governance. Shamans serve as stewards of sacred places and interpreters of the natural world. They observe the seasons, read omens in storms and migrations, and mediate between human communities and the spirits they believe inhabit the land. Yet, shamans do not rule. They levy no taxes, command no armies, and hold no secular authority. Instead, religious influence exists alongside governance. Balance, rather than dominance, defines the relationship. Leohtland's economy was not built on abundance. It was built on survival logistics. Fishing fleets, whaling expeditions, inland hunting parties, and hardy livestock herds sustain the population through long winters and poor harvest seasons. Agriculture exists only where the climate allows it. As a result, food preservation has become one of Leohtland's most essential cultural technologies. Smoking, salting, drying, and cellaring food have become specialized trades. They became everyday knowledge. Preserved food stores function, not only as sustenance, but as strategic reserves that determine whether communities survive the winter. Despite political tensions, Leohtland trades regularly with Arenzian ports. From the north come shipments of fish, whale oil, furs, timber, and preserved foods. In return, Arenzi merchants bring crafted metals, tools, coin, and goods that cannot easily be produced in the northern climate. Leohtland maintains no standing imperial army. Its defense relies, instead, on regional forces raised by the earls. Feudal levies, household retainers, and armed coastal vessels form the backbone of its military strength. Many of these ships are simply fishing or whaling vessels adapted for combat when necessary. Leohtland's forces are disciplined and familiar with the harsh terrain they defend. Their strategy is not conquest, it is protection. Naval capability focuses primarily on defending the coast rather than projecting power beyond it. Within Leohtland's culture, endurance remains the highest virtue. Status is not displayed through extravagance or ornament. It is demonstrated through reliability, through the quality of one's work, and through the ability to contribute to the survival of the community. Light holds particular cultural significance, not as a symbol of divine authority, but as a tool against isolation. During winter festivals, villages illuminate the night with stained glass and hide lanterns, dyed in colors inspired by the northern auroras. These lights serve a simple purpose. They remind the people that winter will eventually end. Even Leohtland's banners reflect this philosophy. They bear no beasts, weapons, or crowns. only pine green cloth and bronze knotwork, patterns older than any living ruler. Leohtland is not openly hostile toward the Arenzian Empire, but it remains resolute. It rejects annexation, refuses to replace its customs with imperial law, and resists administrative standardization. To the Empire, Leohtland appears inefficient, underutilized, and destined to become a future province. To Leohtland, the Empire appears overextended, intrusive, and unwilling to recognize its limits. For now, the tension endures without open war. Leohtland endures because it adapts. Its people do not seek dominion, revelation, or eternal rule. They seek only to survive the next winter, and the one after that. Whether that endurance represents wisdom or stagnation depends entirely on who is asked, and how long they have lived in the cold. In Leohtland, a saying is often repeated during the darkest nights of winter. Empires rise beneath the sun. We endure beneath the lights.